Hello folks, in this video I would like to show you how I hopefully fix my Delonghi Magnifica espresso, super automatic espresso machine. The problem I'm experiencing is that the coffee doesn't seem to be coming out very strong, number one. I really had to back off on the pressure quite a bit in order to have coffee come out actually. And also the pucks were not are no longer very tight and compact. They're also pretty wet. Initially, I found that I wasn't greasing up the interior very often, and so I stepped up on the maintenance, and that has helped. But again, as you can see here, I have basically crumbles where before I used to get pucks very well defined and very hard. Also, what I noticed is that if I turn the water on, the water doesn't seem to be coming out with as much pressure as it used to have. I don't know if you can tell that from that, but I remember it. Let me shut this off. I remember that it was coming out a lot stronger and faster. So you can probably measure the flow rate of a new one or something that or one that is in good working order versus this if you encounter this problem. And you'll see that that the pressure should be higher. So I took it apart, and to do that, there are screws on the back side rather. So the screws are right here, here, and here, and basically the sides, once you've taken out all the screws in the back, the sides kind of flip up a little bit and then slides back, and then you can remove it. Same thing with the other side after you remove the water tank, and then the back as well also pops open a little bit and then it comes out. For the top, you have to undo these 4 screws right here on both sides, and then kind of wiggle a little bit. This comes off, and then the top comes off. Okay, just like that. One thing I want to point out is that I found that I had some water leakage issues. Let me turn this a little bit more. So as you can see here, there is some rust. And when I saw this, I actually had opened this in the past for other reasons, and I thought it was condensation from this heater over here. But I noticed when I turned it on is that I was getting water fizzing out of these joints right here. In fact, you can see that they're a little bit green there. So basically, you'll also notice that this tube comes out at a pretty. This is a pretty stiff tube, but it has to make a pretty steep, sharp bend in order to get into that connection. And when the carver goes here, it pushes down on it a little bit. So I think that's the reason why, especially this one was leaking quite a bit. However, when it was leaking, it would leak only initially, and then as this is your steam, the heater that creates the steam. So as the water would steam up, then the leak would stop, and that's why it wasn't a humongous leak. But over time, I've had this, I think, for 7 or 8 years. Over time, just a little bit of water leaked out to make this rusted like this. But otherwise, the metal should be clean, just like in this spot right here, everywhere. There should be absolutely no rust inside here. So to fix this, I had to obviously take these fittings off. And it wasn't easy, but with a wrench here and another wrench here, this will come off. It was very tough, so I didn't think it would, but it does. And then inside there is a little press fit ring that fits around the hose, and I was able to basically kind of push it up into the hose a little more, into the hose a little more, yeah. And then again put it back down and tighten it back down, and the leak seems to have stopped. Okay, so that aside, so my theory here back to my main problem, my theory is that my water pump isn't pumping with good enough pressure anymore. And so this is the pump right here. My intention is to replace this. So I actually purchased a new one. off of Amazon, $25. Hopefully this works, because I've seen others for twice as much. So hopefully this is a good pump. So I am going to replace this, and to do that, it's actually very easy. It's held by this rubber mount. The rubber mount actually slides out. You'll see that there is a slot right here. So this whole thing actually pulls forward just like that. Okay, so the whole thing pulls forward there, and I think I need to look at the bottom. That one doesn't come out, but by taking the hose off on the bottom here, obviously it'll come out of there. This fitting right here, that one will unscrew. Again, I couldn't figure this one out too, but now that I have the replacement pump, you can actually, well, you can't see it, but there is actually a thread inside this tube right here. So I should be able to put a wrench right here where there is a little slot, and a wrench on this one, and this should unscrew right out. Once it's unscrewed, the pump will come off, and it's an easy replacement. There are two electrical connections, okay, right there, so those come off fairly easily. And kill the power, replace the pump, put it back together, and see what happens. So I will do this now and be back with you, and we'll see together if this actually worked or not. Okay, so the new pump is in. By the way, I forgot to mention that there is also a little what I believe is a thermal overload, which is that little blue part there that is attached to that wire. That one just slides out, so pull it gently. So the pump seems to be working. It's pumping water like it should. No leaks over here, which is when I noticed it the last time I opened this. Okay, so machine is ready. So I'm going to do the same tests as I did before. I turn the water on. And I don't know if you can tell, it does seem to be coming out a little stronger. Not by much. So the real question is going to be, does it brew coffee? So let's do that right now. Right there. I don't see much of an improvement. The coffee does seem to be coming out nice with some nice crema, but it seems to take a lot of effort to squeeze that water through that puck of coffee. And again, I used to run this almost at maximum without a problem, even with Starbucks, and this is not Starbucks. As you know, Starbucks is very fatty. So let's look at the puck. Yeah, as you can see, it just came apart right there. So that did not fix my problem. So if you have any recommendations, suggestions, I'm all ears. Thank you very much, and let me know. One more tip I want to leave you with that I found out the hard way is, again, when I discovered that I wasn't greasing my the group inside properly, I bought some silicone grease, food safe grease, and this is the one I bought originally. Well, I paid, I think, $15 or $17 for this tube, which is a lot of grease that you're never gonna use in a lifetime. It's a 4-ounce tube, but it's huge. The problem with this is that it is very runny, and it was making a mess inside the machine. It was dripping down all the way down here, through the whole inside of the machine there. So it was really making a big mess. So I switched and I bought this one here, Petrogel, and this one seems to be working very well. It stays wherever I put it, it stays there. I've been using it now for a couple of weeks, and it's definitely done a good job. So another tip for you. Again, my machine is still sadly not performing the way it used to when it was new. Coffee does taste good, but I just feel that something's wrong, that it's just not putting enough pressure in that water. I wish this thing had a pressure gauge. So if you have any suggestions, please leave a comment below, and thank you very much. Bye.